She's being told X, Y, and Z, and I don't think much of it's sticking. I think she just wants to.
She's crying on court. Her dad is fighting cancer, and she just got called to play Wimbledon's warm-up alongside a Williams legend.
Sobra. I mean, sobrang happy. It's been a, dream since she was a kid to see her.
The Alex Eala story that has the tennis world in tears. Welcome back to Champions Tennisitics, the channel that brings you the biggest, most emotional, most jaw-dropping stories from the world of tennis. And today, people, we have a story that is going to hit you right in the chest. This is not just a tennis story. This is a story about a daughter, a father, a battle that no ranking or trophy can fix, and a young woman who is somehow, impossibly, still showing up and winning. So buckle up, grab your tissues, and stay until the very end, because we are about to take you through one of the most remarkable and moving narratives in the sport right now. This is the story of Alexandra Eala, and it is far bigger than tennis. Let us start with the moment that stopped everyone in their tracks. In a video that has now been shared millions of times across social media, Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation who has taken the tennis world by storm, was seen visibly emotional, eyes red, voice barely holding together.
Well, she's being told X, Y, and Z, and I don't think much of it's sticking. I think she just wants to.
As she revealed that her father, Mike Eala, is fighting a battle with cancer. And if that alone was not enough to break your heart, what followed absolutely shattered it. Her father, Mike, speaking in a trembling voice that carried every ounce of love and fear and hope that a parent can feel, said the words that have since echoed around every tennis court on earth. He said his greatest wish, not a trophy, not a prize, not a celebration. His greatest wish is simply to live long enough to see his daughter fulfill her dreams and reach the very top. Stop and let that sink in for a second. Here is a man who has dedicated his life, his energy, his heart to watching a little girl from Quezon City in the Philippines chase a dream that seemed almost impossibly ambitious. A girl who picked up a tennis racket at the age of 4. A girl who left her family at 13 to train thousands of miles away in Mallorca, Spain, at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy. A girl who went on to become the first Filipino in history to win a Grand Slam junior title, the first to break into the WTA Top 100, the first to reach a Top 30 ranking, the first to make a WTA 1000 semifinal, and the first to win a match at a Grand Slam singles event. And now, as she stands on the verge of the biggest years of her career, the man who has been her silent rock through all of it is facing the fight of his life. And he is facing it the same way his daughter faces opponents on the other side of a net, with everything he has. The reaction from the tennis world was immediate and overwhelming. Fans, commentators, fellow players, and people who have never picked up a racket in their lives watched that video and felt something deeply human stir inside them. Because what Mike Eala expressed in that moment is not specific to tennis. It is the universal language of a parent who loves their child more than their own life. It is the kind of love that makes you realize that behind every great athlete is a family that quietly carries the weight so the star can shine. And for Alexandra Eala, that weight has always been carried by a family built on sport, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief in something extraordinary. Now, to understand the magnitude of what this family is living through right now, you have to understand who the Ealas are. Mike Eala has always kept a remarkably low profile. While the tennis world has been busy dissecting his daughter's backhand and speculating about her Grand Slam ceiling, Mike has stayed in the shadows, watching quietly, supporting without fanfare. His wife, Riza Minyego Eala, is a former national swimming champion who won a bronze medal at the 1985 Southeast Asian Games in the 100-meter backstroke before going on to become a corporate executive. Their son Miko played college tennis at Pennsylvania State University. Sport is in the blood. Excellence is in the DNA, and family is everything. Alexandra has said it many times in interviews. The academy, the coaches, the training, they are all important. But the foundation? That was laid at home by her parents long before she ever set foot in Spain. She has credited her family as the rock of her life, from the moment she was a child with big dreams all the way through her dizzying ascent to becoming a genuine force on the WTA Tour. And now, as her father fights the hardest match of his life. She is carrying both of their dreams on her shoulders with a grace and a resilience that frankly defies belief. Because here is the thing that makes this story even more astonishing. Alexandra Eala is not sitting at home grieving. She is competing. She is traveling the world. She is winning matches, breaking records, climbing rankings, and doing all of it while knowing what her father is going through back home. That kind of mental fortitude is not taught. It is not something a coaching manual can give you. It comes from somewhere much deeper. It comes from love. It comes from the knowledge that the best way to honor a father's wish is to go out there and fulfill it. And she has been doing exactly that. Let us take a moment to remind everyone just how special this young woman's journey has been, because the numbers alone will leave your mouth hanging open. Alexandra Eala turned professional in March of 2020. She began 2026 ranked in the 40s and climbed as high as world number 29 in March of this year, the highest ranking ever achieved by a Filipino tennis player in history. Full stop. No asterisk. The highest. Ever. In a country where basketball and volleyball are national obsessions, this young woman has somehow made tennis a topic of conversation in every household, every office, and every school in the Philippines. The Eala effect, as they are now calling it, is real, and it is spreading. Her 2025 season was the moment the world truly woke up to what she could do. Walking into the Miami Open as a wild card, a player who was not even supposed to be there by ranking, she pulled off one of the most shocking runs in recent WTA history. She defeated world number 5 Madison Keys. She then beat world number 2 and multiple Grand Slam champion Iga Swiatek. She made it all the way to the semifinal of a WTA 1000 event, something no Filipino player had ever come close to achieving before. The tennis world collectively gasped. Who is this 20-year-old from the Philippines? Where did she come from? How is she doing this? She went on that year to reach the final at Eastbourne and then won her first WTA singles title at the Guadalajara 125 Open in September. She ended 2025 ranked inside the top 50. She made her Grand Slam main draw debut. She won her first match at a Grand Slam at the US Open, and she wrapped up her season by capturing gold at the Southeast Asian Games, her first ever. She had once dreamed of bringing pride to her country, and in 2025, she delivered it by the bucket load. At the end of the year, she sat down with a reporter and said that she hopes 2026 will be amazing, but that maybe 2027 will be even better. That is the mindset of a champion. And now, in 2026, she has already reached a new career-high ranking, already appeared at Roland Garros, and already secured a wild card to one of the most important grass court events on the calendar before Wimbledon. Which brings us to the next enormous piece of this story, because just when you thought things could not get more exciting or more emotional, the news dropped that is sending the tennis world into a complete frenzy. Alexandra Eala has been awarded a wild card to the 2026 Bad Homburg Open in Germany, a WTA 500 grass court tournament scheduled for the week immediately before Wimbledon. And the company she will be keeping at that tournament is nothing short of legendary, because sharing the wild card list with her is none other than Venus Williams. Yes, that Venus Williams. 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, 5-time Wimbledon winner, one of the most iconic athletes of the last 30 years, who at 45 years old is still lacing up her shoes and walking on a tour courts because her love for the game has simply never left her. The two of them are going to be playing at the same tournament in Germany, and the symbolism of that is enormous. On one side, you have Venus Williams, a woman who has won everything, survived everything, defied everything, and continues to compete out of a pure love of competition. On the other side, you have Alexandra Eala, a 21-year-old who is rewriting history for her country with every match she plays, who is carrying a personal heartbreak that most people could not imagine competing through, and who has been told by her own father that his greatest wish is simply to see her reach the top. Both of these women will be at Bad Homburg in June alongside Eva Liss, the popular German wildcard, playing a home event on the grass she loves. And beyond the wildcards, the field is absolutely stacked. 4-time French Open champion Iga Swiatek is entered. Alina Svitolina, Mira Andreeva, and Karolina Machova, 3 of the world's top 10, have all committed to the event. Naomi Osaka, Ekaterina Alexandrova, Iva Jovic, Sorana Sirsti, Clara Tauson, and Elise Mertens are all also signed up. This is not a pre-Wimbledon warm-up event. This is a genuine blockbuster tournament, and Alexandra Eala is right in the middle of it. This matters even more when you consider that grass is a surface with real potential for Eala. When she made her WTA Tour main draw debut on grass last season, she impressed everyone who watched. Her game, powerful off both wings, with a fearless attitude and the ability to absorb pace and redirect it with stunning precision, translates well to the faster surface. She hits through the ball rather than spinning it, which on grass is a tremendous weapon. And having played at the highest level now for over a year, the experience she brings to every match is compounding rapidly. The Bad Homburg Open could be a very significant moment for her heading into what promises to be a landmark Wimbledon campaign. Speaking of Wimbledon, the intrigue surrounding that tournament right now is absolutely dizzying. The question that every tennis fan is asking is whether Venus Williams, and potentially her sister Serena, will receive wildcards for the championships. And the answer is complicated, because Wimbledon historically guards its wildcard entries jealously for British players. Of the 16 wildcards offered in 2025, only one went to a player from outside Great Britain. That was to the legendary Czech champion Petra Kvitova, who was retiring from the sport after the event and had won Wimbledon in 2011 and 2014. The emotional significance of that farewell justified the exception. For Venus and Serena Williams, the competition for that one potential wildcard spot would be fierce. Venus has 5 Wimbledon titles to her name, all won between 2000 and 2008, and her last appearance on those famous courts came in 2023 when she was beaten in the first round by Elina Svitolina. She has not played a single grass court event since that day, until now. Her return to grass at Bad Homburg is clearly a deliberate stepping stone. Whether it leads to an emotional Wimbledon farewell or comeback remains to be seen, but the appetite for it from fans is absolutely enormous. And then there is Serena, the greatest of all time, the holder of 7 Wimbledon singles titles, which puts her joint second all-time in the Open era behind only Martina Navratilova's 9. Rumors have been swirling for months about a potential Serena return, and they are getting louder by the day.